Welcome back to another RPO College Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jerome Jones, and we got the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ray Roberts over there. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jerome. How are you?
Doing great, man. We're gonna have a quick little podcast. So we do have a game on tonight. Obviously, one of the games the game that's coming on tonight is the Dolphins versus Bills. You guys know, Mr. Ray Roberts is a Dolphins fan, so I don't want to hold him too long. But we had to get a little a podcast in today real quick because, we missed last week. So we want to touch base with you guys and, let you guys know we still here. We had some, things we had to take care of last week, but we're here for you guys. How you doing, sir? How you feeling football-wise, man?
Up and down, like life,
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way, Ray. I think right now, me and you are on the same type of football, wavelength right now, man. I'm an Eagles fan. You're a Dolphins fan. Both of our teams are 1-0. I'm a Michigan fan. You're
Notre Dame.
Dane. I don't know why I can't say Notre Dame, but you're a Notre Dame fan. We both lost last week, and both of us lost in fantasy last week. So I think
actually I won in fantasy, but that's okay.
Oh. I literally lost 1 point to my brother.
I saw that.
1 point to my brother. That's not fun. I was actually, when I seen the schedule and I seen me and my brother playing the first game, I was like, why? And then it always happened to me that I lose by 1 point in the first game of the season. It happens more than you would think. It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta figure that out, how to not lose by 1 point in the first week of the season. We're gonna get right into it, guys, because we have a lot to get to. Ray's game start at 8:30, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to keep it brief for you guys. So let's recap week number 3. So week 3, man, had some good games and everything like that. Some disappointing games, but let's get the disappointment right out the gate, Ray. Me and your team both lost this weekend. And as you guys see, or if you're looking on YouTube or on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, you can see our title is Michigan and Notre Dame done. I know it's only 2 seasons of this, 2 games of the season, but are we done? Michigan, struggled last week week 1 against Fresno State. Last week against Texas, they looked terrible. Just terrible. It just looked really bad. Not even just on the player personnel stance, but on the coaching stance. And then we have Notre Dame, who lost to Northern Illinois. A big upset. Are we done? I want to hear from you, Ray. Is both of our teams done, cooked, over it? Put your fork in it.
Notre Dame is done. No, we're done, dude. You could argue that we're not, and you're more than welcome to your opinion. But don't get me wrong. Could they find a way to put us in the playoffs? Of course they could, but I don't think they should. So I'm going to go by that. There's no way we could lose to a team. Now, let's face it, man. As talent-wise, they're not as talented as we are. So we can't make it back to the playoffs. Actually, I'm checking your schedule right now, Drum. That's the other thing. We don't have We don't have a good schedule. So we're going to have a hard time making up ground by the teams that we probably should beat.
That's very true.
Where I'm looking at Michigan's schedule, I don't know who you guys play every week. I'm trying to look at that now for this.
Brutal, Ray. It's brutal. I'm gonna tell you in like a second because I know right off the top of my head we play.
Here's the thing: you have Ohio State at the end of the year. You beat them, you'll make the playoffs. I don't have a game like that on my schedule right now. I got you. Yeah. So looking at Notre Dame's schedule, you guys got Purdue this week. You got Michigan of Ohio. You got Louisville, who y'all lost to last year. You got Stanford. You got Georgia Tech, who's looking like an improved team. Navy, FSU,
Virginia, Army, and USC. So USC might be that headliner for you guys, depending on, hey, if you guys kind of win out the rest of the season and have a decent to pretty good game against USC and still win, I think you guys got a chance. And you got to remember, this is a different playoff system than last year. So I think you got a chance. Before we get into the actual games itself, I do want to go over Michigan's schedule. So give me a second on that because it's loading up, but it is brutal, right? Next
here, Joe. You have Fresno State, Texas, Arkansas State, USC, Minnesota, at Washington, at Illinois, Michigan State, Oregon, at Indiana, Northwestern, at Ohio State. That's what I mean, though. If you beat USC, you beat Oregon, you beat Ohio State, you should make the playoff. I don't have a game except for the one USC game at the end of the year. Now, if USC stays in the top 10 and we beat them, yeah, again, because we sneak into the playoffs, yeah, but I don't think we should. I don't think we deserve it. I think that last week's game, we blew it. And I mean, I understand, like, I know people are going to hate this. I think that I know Notre Dame would never fire their coach now, but I would think about it very strongly.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see. But let's dive into the games just a little bit. Again, we don't want to take up too much time on these. But Illinois, you guys played them. They come up to a 13-7 lead at the halftime. You guys scored, made it 14-13, and then Illinois had that, I believe it was a game-winning field goal. It was a game-winning field goal to Nelly. It was a very defensive game, very underwhelming game for Riley Leonard, who I think we both had high expectations for. What's your takeaways on the game? Leonard did throw 2 interceptions. He passed for 32. He passed 32 times, but to pass 32 times and only get 160 yards, 63 yards, it's kind of rough. But I'm gonna let you talk about it a little bit more, Ray. I'm sure you watched the game more intensely than I did.
Well, Riley Leonard, like you said, struggled. He threw 2 picks, no touchdowns. He only had, like you said, 163 yards. I mean, here's my problem with it. This is the second year in a row where we took a quarterback from another team that was good, and they're not good anymore. Mm-hmm. So to me, when I said to people, like, you know who they are, about Notre Dame should fire the coach, people don't want to hear that, of course, because they're making money off of Notre Dame. See, I'm not. I only want to win. I don't care if people don't like me because I'm bad-mouthing the program. I'm not bad-mouthing the Notre Dame program. I know better than that, and I think most fans are. Yeah, man, Marcus Freeman, again, needs to improve. Like, you can't be so lackadaisical. This is not the first time, though, Jerome. Marshall, last year against Louisville. We've had games where we have gone out there and have just played like we didn't want to be on the field. That has Syracuse. Actually, especially in 7 a.m. Army 2 years ago, the second half, where literally like we had big lead on Army and almost lost the game. I mean, like, I know, again, people think, well, you're just revisionist history, and it is, but that's why, because I watch every game.
Right.
Unless work gets in the way, and it happens, I don't miss games.
100%. Yeah, man. Notre Dame's a weird case. You guys always seem to have the talent. We get really high on you guys the preseason. Y'all get, like you said, y'all grab a highly talented quarterback, and then for some reason, you guys just don't perform. They don't perform when they play for you guys.
We played Duke last year and almost lost to them because of how good Riley Leonard was against us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really this year looks like he can't play.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a good game against Texas Tech or Texas A&M. Don't get me wrong, but where he was good against Texas A&M is because they didn't really ask him to do a whole lot throwing the ball. It was more him as a runner.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm curious how you guys can bounce back for this. I think y'all can because y'all do have an easier schedule. And then, like you said, there is like the silver lining is that maybe USC continues to be good, and then at the end of the year, if y'all can beat them, y'all be fine, and y'all can get in the playoffs. Because that's basically y'all conference game right there. So if y'all can win out, y'all still good. Now let's talk about the flip side of this. Let's talk about the Michigan. Now it's almost the opposite situation with Michigan. They played who I in precinct thought Texas and Oregon is probably going to be the best two teams outside of Georgia that can compete with Georgia. Oregon still got they're looking kind of funky right now, not looking the greatest. But Texas just been hot, Quinn Ewers, red hot. They got Isaiah Bond. That defense, they got that defensive end, which name I can't remember right now. They just look like a complete team, Michigan played them, and I will say this, Ray. In the last two games, I know it's been a quick turnaround to have what's his name, the quarterback, our current quarterback. What's his name? Hold on. Warner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Warner. Him coming in, and just look very pedestrian. And I know that it was like a last minute switch. They didn't really want Orgy out there because he wasn't kind of throwing some sporadic throws in camp, which was news to me because from what I was hearing, he was lighting it up. And all of a sudden he was throwing too many sporadic throws. I don't know. But anyway, it's a weird dynamic because it's looking like a identity crisis with this team, and that's the part I'm more fearful about. It's not really losing to Texas or even losing in the fashion that we did. I think actually Texas could have really appeared on us. They only scored 31 points. I think Texas, it looked like a team that could have went like 40 something. I don't know. We still already got a really good defense. Don't get me wrong on that, but the fact that we are like the running game. Right, 80 yards total. Our best running back is getting. I don't think he has 20 total attempts in two games. Only getting 41 yards.
That is the most surprising thing about everything. To be honest with you, that I thought that the offense would be like focused around Donovan Edwards, and it just hasn't materialized yet. I think not playing Alex Orgy is a mistake. I think there should be at least packages when he's out there to run the ball. I do.
Yeah,
I don't know a lot about Davis Warren. I know he looks like a competent passer, but I think Orgy is a better athlete and would make my offense a little bit more dynamic.
I agree because it will open up the running game, which is going to be our strong point. I mean, we don't have the best receivers either. I love my young guy. Loveland's a really good one, but Samaje Morgan, I'm really high on Samaje Morgan, but Samaje Morgan is not one of those top flight receivers, he caught 5 passes, 45 yards and a touchdown, which is solid numbers. But, I feel like this offense should have a play action type of offense where you can pop it off to Cleveland Loveland, be able to get, a couple of 1 or 2 deep routes to Samaje Moore and just run the ball. And I agree with your take on Orgy being the number 1 quarterback for them. I just think we in such a weird. I'm more concerned with the coaching than the actual team. I think the talent of the team, it is what it is. But the coaching of the team is very concerning, especially, we lost so many good quarterbacks. Coaches. And I was saying that when, Harbaugh left, and I was like, okay, we all kind of expected Harbaugh to leave. I get it, and I love Sharon Moore, and I thought he can really fill in. But once all the assistants kept leaving, this and that, especially Mentor when he left. Oh my goodness, that one got me, and I like oh God, Chris. Come on, Chris. That's disrespectful, sir. I will block you, Chris. I will block you. No, I'm joking. But as you know, Chris is our Ohio State. I guess I can say residency. Whatever you want to call him. He's a whatever. Whatever. Anyway,
Ohio State fan.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say that. I was trying to find another word for him, but it said, look, it could be worse, y'all. Both y'all could be at this shoe. Yeah. I actually think that was on our list of teams to talk about. No, there wasn't. Yeah. But yeah, FSU is they are definitely far away for sure. But Ray, last words on Michigan Texas game.
I mean, you lost to a good team though, Jerome. I mean, the way it happened, like you said, they kind of like ran rush out a little bit on you. But once you took away the Michigan's run game, I think that's going to be a problem anyway. So
yeah,
I'm really expecting Michigan to turn back into a more physical team and start running the ball a lot more than they have been. And I think when that happens, it'll open things up for the passing game. They need to be like I'm telling you, I would play Orgy a little more, at least running the ball. And I would use Lovelace to tight end a lot more. Maybe run some 2 tight end sets and use the one receiver you were talking about on jet sweeps and stuff like that. And try just to try to open things up so I can take shots downfield every once in a while.
100%. No, I agree. I think that is the best case scenario. I kind of wish they never went to the other kid. I didn't think highly of him at all. And he's a okay guy, but man, especially with the attempts that he had in this game. He was 33 attempts.
33 attempts and 240 yards, which again, they're okay numbers if he doesn't throw the 2 picks to go with it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the problem right there. And that's the thing where Michigan's never been the kind of team that just wants to throw the ball. They want to run the ball and then throw off of that.
Yeah. No, I agree. So we'll see. The other part of this I don't like is that when they do bring Alex Orgy in, it's literally everybody knows it's going to be a run. It's just, and it's not even just a run handoff kind of run. It's a run Orgy, just letting Orgy run. And it's just like, and I don't know if that's more of him not reading the edge well and just keeping the ball himself every time, or a design like, hey, coaches are telling me I need to run this keep this as a runner. I don't know.
I think that the defense would rather he run the ball than the running back get it, so they kind of like take the running back out of the play.
That's probably a good second, right?
They don't want the running back to get the ball, so they kind of just like if Orgy runs the ball or if the quarterback runs the ball, we'll deal with that. I don't want him to get the ball, you know.
You might be completely right about that, Ray. Completely right. But we're gonna move on. Me and you can definitely talk about our teams all day, but we'll move on. Let's get to one of the crazier games. Colorado losing to Nebraska. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Nebraska was always a really good defense. I don't think anybody expected the offense to click this fast, at least. Dylan Raiola looks pretty good. And I think the biggest thing for me is not just the fact that Colorado lost, but Colorado only scored 10 points in this game. As dynamic and as fluent as they've been, and especially, at week one where, it seemed like nobody can keep up with Travis Hunter. And Travis Hunter definitely still had a really good game offensively, 10 catches, 110 yards. But, only scoring 10 points, that was odd for me to see with Colorado. What's your thoughts on this game, Ray?
I mean, Nebraska tackled very well. They didn't, even though they gave up some yardage to Travis Hunter, they didn't give him any big plays downfield.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you, if you're only going to run the ball for 16 yards, positive yards, you're not going to probably do very well. I mean, Sanders didn't do anything downfield. He did have one that was taken away from a penalty, which happens. And I think he had one 20-some yard pass that I saw, but nothing. Everything was, they tried to go dink and dunk it a little bit, but they didn't turn anything into a big play.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the other fact is, Colorado gave up 6 or 5 sacks in the game. It was 5. It was 5 sacks.
14 pressures though. He got 14 times, man. Again, that's too many.
And Ray, I don't know. Did you hear Shador's comment after the game? He literally said, "I didn't see Dylan Raiola get sacked that much or get touched that much." That's what he said. Which is
he wasn't wrong about that, but again, Nebraska does what Nebraska did. They ran the ball for 150 yards, and they weren't great. They averaged, Dante Dowdell, which is a weird name, only ran for 74 yards, but he was efficient. It wasn't where they didn't do anything great out of the running game either, but the quarterback didn't get beat up. They ran the ball when they needed to, and they hit plays downfield when they had to. It really was more on Colorado's offense not being able to stay on the field and sustain drives. It was really the problem, really, which is surprising. Yeah. That's not their offense. Usually they'll hit big plays here and there, if nothing else.
Correct. I agree with that because, and I agree with what Chris is saying too. They are the same team as last year, and I think that was the big talking point of the all season. Colorado got all these new, transfers that came in on offensive line, and they're totally fine and things like that. But it's not really working out. I mean, they got a true freshman playing right now, and Seton. I think he has a lot of potential later on, but he's still a freshman, and I think when you have freshmen in those big positions, and you gotta kind of let them grow into it. They're not used to the speed and speed and strength combination sometimes. So, and don't get me wrong, he's playing pretty daggone well, but he's one piece out of 4. Everybody else is not really doing that well either. So, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see how Colorado moves from here. I don't know their full schedule, and we're not going to get into it right now because we're trying to speed through this real quick. But I just think that Colorado might be in some trouble again this year, man. And if that's the case, I wonder how Deion's going to feel after the season, especially after his kids are going to leave. So we'll definitely see. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get into our next game real quick. It is Penn State versus Bowling Green. Man, Bowling Green controlled this game all the way into the last quarter. When Penn State started coming back and really started playing, Drew Aller was looking really good week 1. Struggled a little bit in this game until the second quarter. Until the second quarter where he started bringing it on a little bit. Penn State's defense was very underwhelming in the first half, and then they kind of stifled and stiffened up at the end. Penn State, number 8 team in the country, squeezing out the win against Bowling Green, which a lot of people did not see being as good as they actually are right now. They won their first game as well. So what's your thoughts on this one, Ray?
I think that Penn State had a little bit of what Notre Dame did, where they kind of took a team a little lightly, and that's what happened to you. The good thing for them is they won, though.
Yeah. I'll say they need to calling out the offensive line. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the second time we heard this, the first time was when Travis did it during the Madden game, and then now with Shador. So I agree. I mean, you can't be bashing your teammates like that. You gotta write it out, or at least if you're gonna do that, you gotta do it behind closed doors. Now it don't be. I mean, I don't think this is gonna happen, but because everybody's trying to do their best because you want to get to the NFL, but I wouldn't be. I would be like that. The what movie was that? The Longest Yard, where the whole offensive line just let everybody come in and teach the quarterback a lesson. Listen, I'm not calling for that, but anyway, let's move on. So yeah, the Penn State game against Bowling Green, man. I know your feelings with James Franklin Ray. Do you think that is more an indictment to Penn State, the fact that they were able to come back, or you think it's more of a disappointment that they was even in this position in the first place?
A little bit of both. I think, again, they kind of took Bowling Green lightly, but when they had to turn it on, they did. I mean, Nicholas Singleton averaged almost 10 yards a carry, so he did his job.
Yeah.
Quarterback played fine. I think Penn State's defense did not do their job, especially in the first half.
Yeah, and I think it also didn't help Bowling Green that they cannot run the ball that well. It was not that successful.
They did not run the ball. They had basically, I had it written down somewhere. They had 123 yards rushing, though. It wasn't horrible.
It wasn't horrible, but their average wasn't that great.
Some of that was done in the first half.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think like if they were able to be a little bit more successful running the ball, I think they would have been able to drain out the clock a little bit more.
In the second half, they could have continued to run the ball. They could have probably really won the game kind of handily in a way, but their inability to run the ball in the second half like they did in the first. But again, I'm going to give Penn State some credit for playing better defense in the second half.
100%. Now, real quick, Ray, before the podcast, I sent you a picture of the new Big Ten standings. I was kind of infuriated just a little bit. The fact that Penn State got to be number 8 after close loss to a Bowling Green, and then Michigan went down 7 spots, losing to arguably one of the best teams in the country. I just want to see, do you agree with how I'm feeling right now, or do you think it's rightfully so with the way that Michigan played against Texas? Because it wasn't pretty, to be honest.
I mean, I think it was like I would have rather they didn't. I thought Penn State. Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. Penn State could have dropped down a little bit, but if they want to leave them there, I mean, honestly, if Notre Dame would have found a way to win, they probably wouldn't have dropped them too far either. So I guess they're just trying to not over evaluate by one game. I think I'm okay with it. I mean,
and the flip side of that, you got to think like they over evaluated because they dropped Michigan 7 spots down.
I wouldn't have dropped them that many spots for being a team because we know that. No, I get it. Texas is a good team, and I wouldn't have dropped them 8 spots. I think I have more of a problem with them dropping Michigan so far than leaving Penn State where they were at.
That's right, and that's my biggest thing.
I get that. No, I get that. I agree. I wouldn't have dropped them that many spots.
Yeah, because hey, if we lose again, let's say we lose again for some reason, we're out of the top 25 at that point. I would think.
Depends on who you lose to, and how badly you lose to them.
Sure, that's very true. Well, we'll see. But all right, man. Let's get to. We have another game on here. We do have one more game, and that will be
Boise State.
Oregon, Boise State. Ray, what's going on with Oregon, Ray? We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. Boise State looked good, man, in this game. Oregon still won. So I'm not trying to say Oregon didn't deserve to win or didn't win or whatever. But Boise State looked pretty daggone good against Oregon, who, again, I thought was a top-tier team in this. I think there was going to be one of those top-tier teams. And, two very close games, 2 games that they could have easily lost, both of them. Squeaking out the win. But A win's a win. What's your thoughts on the game?
Again, I think Oregon kind of took Boise State a little lightly, and you should never do that because we know Boise State is a well-coached team. And Oregon's defense really struggled actually for two and a half quarters, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Almost into the third quarter, they really didn't get a whole lot done, but they outscored them basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's the name of the game for sure.
I mean, again, it's just a matter of they probably underevaluated, Boise State, but they found a way to win the game when it mattered in the end. So
Definitely. What's your thoughts on Austin Jency? I mean, 45 attempts, 459 yards, and 9 touchdowns only in 2 weeks. Obviously, he's the heartbeat of the team, man. And again, they leaned on him, and which I thought they would do this season. And he's giving them everything he got. What's your thoughts on Jency, man?
Man, the kid's a player, man. He's a really, really, really good player. The offense has been running through him, and hey, man, after, like you said, 400 yards, 192 yards on 25 carries in this game, average almost 8 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. So he carried their offense. Boise's defense was good. Dylan Gabriel had a really nice game, but he got sacked 4 times and got hit 9 times.
Yeah,
they put some pressure on him.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that even with Jency having 25 attempts, Madison had 40 attempts passing, which is crazy. I mean, Boise State had the ball a lot. But with even saying that with Madison, he only had 17 attempts. I mean, 17 completions. So 17 completions for 40 attempts, Ray. That's a lot of missed balls.
It makes you wonder if they'd have given, and I know Janty, what would happen? They'd have given him 5 or 10 more carries and had 10 less throws. I mean, I hate to say, when you have a kid that's running the ball like that, man, you gotta ride him.
Yeah, I agree, Ray. And it makes you also. I also wonder too because they replaced Malachi Nelson for Madison. I'm curious to see how much play like that from Madison they can take until they kind of switch back to Malachi. It's interesting.
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're definitely gonna find out. But yeah, so that's our recap for last week, man. Hope y'all enjoyed that. We wish we did week 2, but week 1, but we weren't able to do that. But let's get into week 2. Quick game updates, or not updates, but game predictions rather, that we think is going to go down. And the first game that we're going to talk about is Arizona versus K-State. Ray, who you taking in that one?
I get Kansas State. They're favored by 7. They're home. I'll take Kansas State.
Yes, I agree. Real quick before I continue, there are a couple of games that are going on. Arizona State versus Texas is playing right now. We don't have any of them on our list. And also Northwestern State versus South Alabama. South Alabama is actually beating the brakes off of Northwestern State's 21-3 in the first quarter. So a lot of scoring from them right there. But yeah, I'm taking K-State again. Also, Ray, they are favored by 7. They are at home. K-State is always that team that I think a really good team. Arizona is actually a really sneaky good team, so I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona actually pulled this off. But I'm going to take K-State as well as you, Ray. It's a really good game. I'm super excited to watch that game. That's going to be on Friday night. So if you guys want to watch that one, that's going to be tomorrow night for you guys that are watching tonight, or if you're going to watch this tomorrow, it's going to be Friday night. For that as well. Our next game that we have is going to be LSU versus Southern Carolina. Southern Carolina is undefeated right now, 2-0. LSU is 1-1. LSU lost to I want to say I can't remember who they lost to, but they just took a loss recently. South Carolina is at home, but LSU is favored. Ray, who you taking?
I get LSU.
Taking LSU as
They're a
well.
little bit more talented, but they're favored by 7, so I'll take them.
Yeah, I'm taking them as well. I still have high hopes for LSU. One of my favorite teams this year as far as talent and what they can do. So I really do want to see how they play. I want to see a little bit more from Musa. I can't remember how to say his last name, but the quarterback, LSU's quarterback. I do want to see a little bit more from him this game coming up for sure. All right, next game we got Florida versus Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored by 3.5. Florida is the home team. Both teams are 1-1. Who you taking, Ray?
I got Texas A&M.
Yeah. I'm gonna ride the Florida wave one more week, Ray. I took them last week. They disappointed me. I'm gonna pick them again. We'll see how this goes. But I like the talent that they have. I like, it is a fairly new offense. I also think that they're gonna be starting DJ Legway, and I think he's super talented quarterback, five star, really good player. So I'm curious to see how he does in his first start. That was actually a really quick turnaround. He's a fan favorite. Florida fans are been craving for him since the beginning of the season. Graham Mark's never been a guy for me, man. I mean, he always been just a solid quarterback. I think DJ is going to bring so much more dynamic. Yes, he's young, so obviously you're going to see some mistakes. That's just obvious. But DJ is going to be starting this game. I'm curious. This is second start, isn't it? I think they switched last week. I could be wrong. I can't remember. But I am going to take Florida in this one, Ray. All right. Next one is going to be TCU versus UFC. Or UCS, sorry.
UCF, yes.
Who you taking in that one, Ray?
I have Central Florida, UCF in that game.
Yeah. Both teams are undefeated, 2-0. TCU is at home. It's only a 1-point favorite for TCU. I agree. I'm taking USC as well. And as you guys know, when there's a home team that's under, I think it's 2.5, and their favorite usually goes to actually the away team.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind because the home team usually gets a 2.5 favorite or point bonus for being home. So for all you bettors out there, always keep that in mind as well. Next game, a very interesting game from last year, Ray. Colorado versus Colorado State. Colorado State is going to be home this year. Colorado is favored by 7 away. Who are you taking, Ray? We just talked about this team. We talked how terrible they are. Who are you taking?
I have Colorado, dude. I have Colorado.
Ray? I'm going to be very weird on this one, and I'm taking State.
Okay.
I'm going to be really weird. The reason why I'm taking State, it was a really good game last year. I don't think State has a big turnover from last year, so they have a lot of the same players. They were very physical last year. You see how physical teams are playing Colorado and how Colorado's responding. And the fact that, Shedeur just cannot stay off the ground. He just keep getting sacked, keep getting pressured. And I think Colorado's going to really put it on him. I know I'm taking a big risk on taking Colorado State here because the talent level is not like a Colorado, but that Colorado offensive line has to show me more than what they've been showing me. I'm going to – I feel weird doing it, but I'm going to take Colorado State, man. I'm taking a risk on this one, Ray. All right. Next game, I think it's our last game. which is Notre Dame versus Purdue. Ray, this line was very close when I first seen it. I think it changed. Where is it?
I have 10. Notre Dame favored by 10.
I have 9.5. So it was a lot closer when I picked it. Picked this out, which I picked this. Gave this to you, Ray. I think on Monday. So the line changed. It was very close. It was very close when I seen it. Initially, I wasn't even gonna pick this game. But Purdue is undefeated. They're nicknamed the Spoiler Makers. They are at home. Notre Dame is 1-1, just lost to a NIL.
University of Northern Iowa.
Thank you.
Northern Illinois, sorry.
Northern Illinois, yeah, there you go.
Northern Illinois, yes.
Yes. So, what's your take on this one? I'm sure you're gonna pick Notre Dame, right? Maybe
favored by 10. They better win.
That was good.
They're favored by 10.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we talked about earlier, and I'm going to make this brief about them getting back in the playoffs. It starts by beating Purdue by 3 scores.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, this the get right game. We talked about they have a lighter schedule going forward. They should go undefeated until that last game, and then we'll see what happens. I think this is a good chance for them to get some momentum back and feel good about the team again and start going on a roll. The problem is that they just couldn't beat Northern Illinois. The fact that they couldn't beat them makes you wonder and makes you question. I'm still taking Notre Dame. I'm actually even going to take the line, but I need Notre Dame to really come out firing. I don't want to see what I seen last week, and try to come back. Like they need to really come out firing, look inspired. I need Riley Leonard to really look like the guy that we seen last year. And if I see that in this game, I feel comfortable saying that they can definitely go undefeated the rest of the season until that last game, and then we'll see from there. But for now, I do want to see that. I think this is a good test for them to see how they do and respond.
I agree. They better win by 3 scores.
Yeah. Right. Anything less than 3 scores, you're disappointed, Ray?
Anything less than 3 scores. I need anywhere between 14 and 21 point scores, over beat them by that much. If you don't, to me, I'm like, of course, if they win by 10, everybody will be fine. But I need them to really go out there and play focused football and see what happens. We'll see what happens if they do that. I just don't know if they can anymore. I really don't. I don't know what to expect from the team week to week. I don't. And that's worse than being good or bad.
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
You would definitely find out. So we'll see how that goes. Michigan's going to be playing Arkansas State this weekend. My takeaways is I just want to see some consistency in what they're going to be doing. I want to see them get back to what they're known for, what they're best at. I know it's a whole new offensive line, but in order for you to cater to the offensive line, you got to start running the ball. So I'm calling out the coaches, man. I'm calling out the coaches. I don't even want to talk about any of the players. I don't want to talk about the talent level. I don't want to see or hear anything about that. I want to talk about the coaching. Coaches. Y'all gotta get it together. Y'all have to get it together because I can't blame the players if the way y'all playing. A 5th grader can do that on Madden and beat you guys. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So I just want to see better coaching this game. That's my biggest thing that I want to see, and we'll take it from there because again, we don't have an easy schedule this year, so it can be. Okay, we can squeak into the playoffs maybe, and let's see what happens. Or it can be like, oh, dude, this is a disaster, and Sharon Moore might not even be there past this year if that is the case. So We'll see. But anyway, that's going to do it for us today, guys. I know we had a little abridged podcast tonight, but, you know, we wanted to get Ray off of here and let him enjoy his team and the comfort of his watching instead of trying to do it during the podcast. So we do thank you guys so much for watching us. If you come in on a replay, definitely come in and share your thoughts, share your comments in the comment section on YouTube. So make sure you go on there and like and subscribe. You can do that right over there, right under Ray at that little QR code. And you can definitely follow us on Xbox X, which is Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. For sure, definitely check us out on all those platforms. Also, want to thank our sponsors who I did not shout out in the beginning, so I do apologize, Phenom. But our sponsors, Phenom, make sure you go to phenomelite.com where you can find some great gear like these beautiful gloves. These are so beautiful, man. They make me want to go back and play football again, man. Like, look at that. Look how beautiful this is. Like, it's great material. It's nice. It got this great stick to it. Very breathable, very comfortable, man. You can't find many gloves like this. So make sure you go on their website, phenomelitebrand.com. Hit that promo code ITH football. Get 10% off of all your purchases. That will save you guys some cash, make you look good while you plan, and, you know, do your thing. Look good, feel good, play good, you know? So thanks, Phenom Elite, for allowing us to have this podcast as well. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. Again, thank you all. Again, we have a little bit of an abridged podcast. But real quick thoughts on Miami, Ray, for tonight's game.
If it's I need it to be a high-scoring game because that's what I think it's going to take for Miami to win the game. I think if it's a low-scoring game, Buffalo's running the ball, and I'm not getting the ball back enough. So we'll see. Yeah,
I want to see a second week of seeing the weapons from Josh Allen. They looked really good last week. You know, I think Josh Allen's had 4 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. And he was still, you know, he didn't really miss a beat without Stephon Diggs. So I would love to see how that goes again for a second week against a really good secondary. Even though you guys have Eli Apple on your team, come on, Ray, what's going on?
Don't have Eli Apple anymore. He's not on the team anymore.
He's not?
Not on our team anymore.
No. Okay.
No. He's gonna be signed by the Eagles next week.
No, don't do that.
You know, we did you off.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Well, thank you guys so much for checking us out. Once again, make sure you go check out phenomelitebrand.com. Make sure you go check out all our social medias on our website. And thank you guys again, man. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good week of football. Peace.